Hope you all are good. We are here for Big Five Math. You can find all the lessons on epsstudents.com. You'll have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select Math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 5 Math and then click on View Your Lessons. Then you can find the list of the chapters. We can to start with the chapter Fractions and Max Numbers. The lessons we can prepare today are graph and compare fractions on number lines, compare fractions using benchmarks, compare fractions and mix numbers, and put fractions in order. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So if you have grade 5 math, the chapter we are right now is fractions and mix numbers. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is graph and compare fractions on number lines. Okay, graph and compare fractions on number lines. Graph 4 by 5 and 4 by 10 on number line. So let's just understand the fraction first. 4 by 5 means a line has 5 equal parts and 4 by 5 represents the fourth part of the number line you can see here. That is the number line between 0 and 1. The line has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments, and the fourth one represents 4 by 5. Here it is. Then 4 by 10 means you have a number line that has 10 segments the and the fourth one represents 4 by 10, right? Now if you look at both the number lines, here you have 4 by 5 and here you have 4 by 10, right? 4 by 5 is near to 1, but 4 by 10 is far from 1. So that's why 4 by 5 is greater than 4 by 10. Let's just start with the test questions. Graph 3, 5 and 3, 10 on the number line. So here is 3/10 on the number line, right? Now let's just make a number line for 3/5. Here is 3/10. I'm going to make another line, right? Same length. That has 5 equal that has 5 segments. 1 by 10, 2 by 10, 3 by 10. Here is 3 by 5, sorry. Here is 3/10 and here is 3/4. 3/5. 3/5 is almost near to 1. That means 3 by 5 is less than 3 by 10. The question is which is greater? That is 3/5. Option number 1 is the correct option. 5, 3, and 5, 6. So look at the 5, 3. The numerator is greater than denominator. Five 3 is greater, right? The numerator is greater than denominator. The fraction is greater than 1. So that is 5, 5, 3. Graph 3, 2 and 3, 4 on the number line. Which number is greater? Which is the correct option? So 3 by 2 is greater than 3 by 4 because numerator is greater than denominator. So 3 by 2 is greater than 3 by 4. Option number 1 is the correct option. Graph 2 by 5 and 2 by 10 on the number line. Graph 2, 5 and 2, 10 on the number line. So which number is smaller? 2 by 5 or 2 by 10? Swift is most you have to see a smaller number. 2 by 10 is smaller, not greater one. 2 by 10 is smaller than 2 by 5. Which graph 4 by 3 and 4 by 6 on the number line. What number is greater? Which is the correct option? 4 by 3 is greater. The correct option is 4 by 3. Option number 4 by 3 is greater than 4 by 6. Option number 2 is the correct option. 4 by 3 it is. 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 6. Right? 1 by 2 means half it is. And 1 by 6 means you have the number line that has 6 segments. That is the first one. So 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 6. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself with it break. Let me just go on the next lesson. Next lesson is compare fractions using benchmarks. Let's just start with the test questions. Compare each fraction to the benchmark. You have to compare them to 1, right? 6 over 4, you have to compare to 1. And then 6 by 8, you have to compare to 6 by 4. Numerator is greater than denominator. So obviously, it is greater. 6 by 4 is greater than 1. Here we have 6 over 8 and 1. 6 over 8 is less than 1 because the numerator is smaller than denominator, so less it is. So that means 6 by 4 is greater than 1 and 6 by 3 is less than 8. So that means middle it is. 6 over 4 is option number 1 is the correct option. One by three, you have to compare it to half. 1 by 3 is less than half, right? Then 5 over 5, 5 by 5 is 1. So 1 is greater than 1. One by 3 is option number 1 is the correct option. Yes, it is. Sorry. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay. Compare the fraction to the benchmarks, which is the correct option. 3 by 2 is greater than 1 and 3 by 8 is less than 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. Compare each fraction to the benchmark. So which is the correct option? Six by eight is greater than half, and one fifth is less than half, right? So 6 by 8 is less than 1 by 5. Option number 1 is the correct option. Compare each fraction to the benchmark. So which is the correct option? Three by two is greater than one. 2 by 6 is less than 1. So 3 by 2 is greater than 2 by 6. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, 10 by 8, you have to compare it to 1 by 4, and then 10 by 8 and 1 by 4. So which is the correct option? Five it is. 10 by 8 is less than 1, right? 10 by 8 is less than 1, 1 by 4 is less than 1, and 10 by 8 is greater than 1 by 4. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 2 is the correct option. 1 it is. Option number 1 is the correct option. Over 3 by 5 is greater than half. 3 by 8 is less than half. So 3 by 5 is greater than 3 by 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. The correct option is option number 1. Compare each fraction to the benchmark. 5 over 6 is less than 1. 5 over 4, you have to compare 1 is greater than 1 because numerator is greater than denominator. So the fraction is greater than 1. So 5 over 6 is less than 5 over 4. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself every day. So we were working on grade 5 math. There was some technical issue at the start, that's why I started late, right? But it's okay, don't worry, we'll cover the rest of the lesson in the next session. So we were working on grade 5 math. Chapter we were working on is fractions on number lines. The lessons we have covered today are graph and compare fractions on number line, compare fractions using benchmarks. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons you just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you. Or either you can write down the question in the chat box and here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Any questions you can please ask. Questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. So then that's all for today. See you in the bye everyone.